Well, hello and welcome back, my guys. We're starting off on this episode of KSP with the beginning of our new Artemis program. Yes, I did copy NASA, but in my defense, it's kind of easy to copy them because they literally just use the name of gods that are associated with the planets that they're going to. Yeah, so that's really the only reason why is because Artemis is the moon god. I'm going to be naming other vessels way differently than how they're actually named. Yeah, and the missions to the moon are going to be way different than the Artemis missions in real life. This rocket is incredibly different altogether. This thing is literally a boomstick. Like, this thing literally will just explode you off the pad. Um, yeah, the four solid rocket boosters on the side are quite powerful, and I think you can pull like 3 Gs immediately off the pad. It's quite rough. It's a rough rough start off on the if you can see it, it's getting up into like the dangerous area. Like he's literally just getting jerked hard in that thing. As you can see now, we're starting to make our apoapsis quite a bit higher. And now we are starting our circularization burn. And once we are finished that, we are golden for orbit. Yeah. I am so sorry for my snoring dog. If you can hear it, it is quite loud. Biscuit. Biscuit. Hey. How are you? Hey. For you guys, no, I didn't interrupt. Well, I did interrupt my dog's sleep, but I just gave her a treat, and now she is happy. Anyway, now we're already on our way to the moon, and we are doing all the science experiments that we can. And she's back asleep, like that. She is a very tired dog, especially since I gave her a Benadryl because of her allergies. Alright, now we have our encounter with the moon, and we are golden. That is, the first half of this mission is a success, and that's good enough for me. Jebediah can just float there. Nah, we have to bring him home. So on his way home, we had to do a slight course correction so he doesn't explode when he hits the atmosphere. We had to, and then right before we start hitting the atmosphere, I had to slow it down quite a bit. So again, we don't explode when we hit the atmosphere, because my heat shield is not necessarily strong, and science juniors are quite often very explosive. We are currently blazing through the atmosphere, and now we've deployed our 2 drogue chutes, slowing us down so it's safe enough to put out our main parachute. Yeah, so far, mission is a complete success. I am very happy with this mission. Worked out quite well. Now, starting off with our Gaia 1. See, this is the first time that we have a different named ship. This is Gaia, named after the Earth goddess in Greek mythology. And this one is going off into the into orbit, and will wait there for our first rendezvous with Valentina Kerman. She will be flying Gaia 2 coming up in just several seconds after this circularization burn. My God, I can't speak. So now if you pay attention to the screen. I just got the maneuver node ready to do the circularization burn. I need to work on that word. And there we go. We are starting to almost get the orbit. And now we have orbit. Congratulations, orbital insertion is nominal, as SpaceX people would hear. Alright, here is Gaia 2. It's a peculiar design the two Gaia spacecrafts have. They have 4 feeder tanks on the outside. This is so that they're quite cheap, and that after a certain point you can just toss them right off, and there they go. Now you have a full tank of fuel on your way up. It's quite useful. Except this time around, I kind of messed up the fuel, and there I just did a Science Junior thing there. Now for this one, I had to give myself a higher orbit so that it would be easier to encounter the other one. So like it would change a little bit. But yes, there we go. Now we have our encounter set up for, I think it's like 30 minutes from now. And then of course, I have to finish the burn to get to that point. But once we're done with the burn, we'll just fast forward and we'll hit it. I just wanted to take a moment right here to say Merry Christmas to all of those who celebrate Christmas. This is going out on Christmas Day. I am recording it on the 23rd, and I will have this just on auto publish, so I don't have to do absolutely anything Christmas Day. Also, if you are looking for more content from me, check me out on the Eccentrics podcast, where I'm also doing another video. Well, not another video, but I am breaking down Mandalorian Season 2. That will also be out today, and the podcast is available on Spotify, not Apple Podcasts, but it's available on Google Podcasts, Pocket Casts, pretty much everywhere where you can get a podcast except for Apple right now. So yeah, if you enjoy podcasts and you want to hear me break down that, then there you go. I'm your guy. On the Eccentrics podcast, I cover quite a few other things, but it's a new podcast. I just started putting it out not too long ago, after I was assigned a podcast assignment at school. So yeah, it's been quite enjoyable. Here's me without RCS trying to get closer to it. We have now achieved the encounter, and I changed to Jeb Kerman, and then I deorbited it. We were only together for a matter of about a minute, and I was just like, nah, get me out of here. Jeb does not want to stay up in space any longer than he has to, especially in that really tight, cramped capsule. Especially since he's been up there for several hours at this point, compared to Valentina Kerman's probably around 45 minutes. It's quite a bit better. Yeah, as you can see, he's hitting the atmosphere, and he's having quite a bit of fun down there, just being shaken around. Just look at him go. And then, of course, I took a science experiment right then and there. Look at us scream through the atmosphere. So fast. And I got a decently close landing to the continent that we normally like to be on, but yeah, I'm still quite a ways away. And then I did it again, but I think the other time it's way further away. Like I really messed up the landing on Valentina's. Yeah, now we're back at Valentina's, and I'm gonna try and get it, but it just doesn't work out, and we end up all the way, I think, by the crater, if I'm not wrong. Um, yeah, I think we're all the way over by the crater. Yeah, we're by the crater. So yeah, that is where we end up over here. Anyway, um, if there's any, if you guys are interested in the podcast, feel free to comment on it if you have the ability to comment on them. I'm thinking about starting a YouTube channel for them, so that I'm just gonna upload the podcasts in their entirety onto YouTube. So like, if you guys have any topics that you want us to discuss or anything like that, um, I can do that. I'm not exactly flush with topics at the moment, so yeah, I'm excited for some of you guys to listen to it. All right, and that is an amazing landing, except for the fact that the bottom half of our capsule explodes. That was great. I really do not like science juniors. They are incredibly finicky. They break like it's nothing. It's quite annoying. All right, now we're starting off the Charon missions. If you don't know who Charon is, he's the Greek uh, ferryman of the dead. Now, granted, these people aren't dead, but they might as well be after being launched off of I think it's like only a $20,000 rocket. So, yeah, they better be scared. I mean, only the safest means for our tourists. I think it's a $5,000 rocket. Oh no, $18,000 rocket. So yes, on our $20,000 rocket, roughly, um, we will load you and your family aboard, only on the safest, only on the safest rocket, and we will launch you into space. We don't even need any of those multi-million-dollar rockets that SpaceX and Blue Origin are coming up with, when we could just launch you on the top of a high-class ICBM. Yeah, what a wonderful sight it is. I hope these people aren't gonna complain about the fact that they're pulling 2 3 Gs. Eh, but they should have known that. They knew what they signed up for. All right, now they're coming on their landing, where they're coming in decently hot, and we are able to slow them down at relatively the last second. Look at that. Perfect landing. All right. Now, we're on to a great rocket, Artemis III. Now, Artemis II, I did not show it on camera, but had difficulties getting off the pad, but I was still able to get science from it. So, I guess it's technically a mission. That's why I named this one Artemis 3 question mark. Because is it really Artemis 3? We don't know. So I just gave it that name. Yeah. Anyway, this one's mission is going to be a little bit more advanced than the last Artemis mission, by the fact that once it reaches the moon, it now has to circularize. Whoa. Also, on this engine, not on this engine, but on this rocket, I went with a swivel engine on the inside, and then 4 reliant engines on the outer boosters. And also, these boosters, I believe, are feeding into the main booster, so they're bleeding off a whole lot of stuff pretty quickly. But on the bright side, it's has a whole lot of boost when it gets off the pad, and then when it's no longer on the pad, it still has enough. So it's good for me. Also, it has a quite lower profile, except for the fact that I put solid rocket boosters underneath those 4 engines just for a little bit more oomph. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look that nice, but it gets the fucking job done. Yeah. And there's my one F bomb for the episode, because I want to not have Choppa just kind of come up to me and, give me the good old $400 fine, if that's still even a thing. But because it is, always got to drop that F bomb, don't we? Yeah. You just start off just getting blasted in the face with all these solid rocket boosters. But see, they get us off the pad quite easily. Yeah, we're screaming out of the atmosphere. And now there's the cross formation that you see quite often on Soyuz rockets, but yeah, we don't really have that in Kerbal Space Program, so that's the closest thing you're gonna get. Now we are heading. Well, we already put in our trajectory so that we just have to do one like ignition, not one ignition because I have to use a second thing, but we only have to plan once and then we're there. So I thought like just a direct ascent straight to the moon would be the best, and ends up being quite useful. We had a whole lot extra delta V than I had originally planned for, so that's quite great. Then I go and try to make like the absolute minimal, like orbit, like minimal delta V orbit around the moon, just so that I have enough to get back home, because that is something I am incredibly worried about, because I am not sure that I wasn't sure that I had enough to get home, and I would just strand Jeb around the moon, which would be not the worst thing. I feel like Jeb would enjoy it, but of course I'm all the way so far away, and also on the same thing, I don't exactly have the funds for a rescue mission yet. So yeah, would not be the best. All right, now I have already done the science, and now I'm planning to leave Kerbin. Well, to re-enter Kerbin's sphere of influence and uh, deorbit myself. Now, my deorbit trajectory was not steep enough, and you will see why I am saying this in just a moment. Yeah, you just saw the first little snippet of it there, but you're about to see it again when I try to actually cut off the velocity correctly, or cut off more velocity. I can't cut off enough, and this results in me doing this really fun dance of going around the planet several times. Yeah, and you're just gonna watch that for the next couple of minutes. And I decoupled everything, and now I'm just tumbling in the atmosphere because I have no electric charge. Yay. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, guys, while this plays out, I just wanted to thank you guys for watching the video and sticking to this point in time. Merry Christmas, and I will see you guys after this video ends. Just to remind you, on Monday, you'll getting the first episode of my Cold War campaign, which will be quite fun. I have not shot it yet, but it's coming. So Monday, Cold War campaign. Tuesday, we're doing Minecraft. In that episode, we are not only fighting the Ender Dragon, but we're also building an iron farm. And then on Friday, you get both my podcast and the next KSP episode where I will be trying to land on the moon. Yeah, this will be fun. Also, I might send out a deep space probe, so you never know. Alright, well, I guess I'll let this play out, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.